I'm gonna quit my 9-to-5 job today. Just scheduled a meeting with my boss. Really appreciate your support and how I've had the opportunity to grow the company, grow as a marketer, grow as a leader. I believe this chapter of my life is coming to a close. As such, I want to formally resign as Director of Marketing. Yup, that was me. I quit my job on TikTok. Quitting was not an easy decision for me. I was really nervous and scared to leave stability and a career I had built. Maybe you can relate? Perhaps you're scared to leave security and stability. You think it's crazy to walk away from a stable paycheck. You've built a career, and did all that time just go to waste? Or maybe you're really burnt out. You don't like your job and you dread looking at the computer, but you also don't like the possibility of facing uncertainty and the unknown. You feel stuck, trapped, like there's no way out. Well, that was how I felt when I quit my job. At the time, I was working as a marketer at a Silicon Valley tech startup. I had worked in Silicon Valley for over 10 years, previously working at Google and having earned my MBA. I always knew I wanted to do my own thing, but taking the leap into entrepreneurship felt so risky. Eventually though, I came to the point where I knew I had to quit. But I didn't get from point A to Z overnight. There was a series of steps and stages I had to go through before I officially told my boss I quit. So often you only hear the success story of, oh, I quit my job and now I make 7 figures a month. First, that isn't my story, but also, what about the backstory? What are the highs and lows and struggles that someone went through? Often, we only see the success. And that's what I want to share with you in this video. What are the steps and stages that lead someone to that pivotal decision? It just didn't happen overnight. What was my thought process and the emotions and everything? Because it was a struggle at some point. For me, it seemed very daunting and it was a scary decision, and I knew I had to do it. So the Great Resignation is happening and a lot of people are reevaluating their lives, having just come through a global pandemic. It's my hopes that through me sharing my story, I can inspire you to live a life that is true to you, that may or may not be you quitting your job. But regardless, I hope this encourages you in where you're at. All right, let's roll the tape. I'm actually gonna watch this with you. Video 1. I quit my 9-to-5 job. I have worked in Silicon Valley tech for over 10 years. I've worked at Google at early stage startups being a marketer. I knew it was time for me to move on. So far on TikTok, I've documented my journey from San Francisco to Hawaii and the leap of faith that took. Quitting a full-time job was definitely harder. This is my story, and I'm definitely not advocating that everyone quit their job. Everyone has their own journey. In terms of what's next, I'm going to go into a season of rest and then invest in my own coaching business. I've always been passionate about coaching, and it's something I've done on the side. I know my calling is to help other women have confidence and know what they're passionate about and live into their purpose. And if I want to help other people do that, I need to be able to step into that myself. I actually filmed myself going through the process of quitting, and it was a whole range of emotions. All right, so a bit of background. That video was the first in a 12-part series. So as I was going through the process of quitting my job, I recorded myself. After I left my job, I decided to post it on TikTok. I allude to this in the video, and I've talked about it in other YouTube videos. As I mentioned in the video, I had been vlogging for a while on TikTok as I've been sharing my journey of moving from San Francisco to Hawaii. I started building a community that was invested in my journey. I just decided to be honest about it and share about it on TikTok. Now let's watch the actual stages I went through for me to quit my job. Stage 1, the call to adventure. And I was really scared. I'm gonna be pretty real in this video. I don't even know if I'm gonna post it, but I feel like quitting my job. I have been at my current company for 4.5 years, and I'm feeling very burnt out. It's been challenging. I want to do my own thing. I've always known that coaching and encouraging women has been something I'm called to do. I'm really passionate about encouraging women to be confident in who they are and to live into their purpose. You know, I coach on the side. I'm like so scared to quit my job because I'm leaving security, especially during this time when I should be thankful to have a job. And at the same time, I know what I'm called to do, and I know what my purpose is. I'm so paralyzed because I'm afraid that I'll just like be overcome with anxiety and depression. I won't be able to do anything because I'm so scared that I won't have any money. Even though that's not the reality. The reality is that I've saved a lot. So you can see in this video, I'm living in the tension. I sense a pull in one direction and I am so scared to do it. And I'm rationalizing in my head why I can't do it. Let's see what happens next. Phase 2, deciding that I have to quit. Last week, I talked about how I was considering quitting my job. and I was uncertain about that. And this last week, it's became really clear that I need to, because my mental health is not in a good place. I feel a lot of anxiety when I'm working, even remotely, and I just know it's time to move on. There's clarity in that, so formulating a game plan to quit, it's terrifying, but I'm feeling so much anxiety around work because I know there's not alignment to what I'm doing. This next week, I want to get clarity on what it will look like for me to quit with my finances. I'm scared, but I also feel a large sense of relief in knowing that there is an end point. So I'm wearing the same dress in that video that I'm wearing now, but I look really stressed out. I just want to put that. And in the video, you see me holding these Post-its, fumbling them back and forth. And I actually got these Post-its because I knew I had to write words of encouragement and scripture on them to put around my apartment so I would have the courage to actually quit my job. All right, on to the next video. Since making the decision to quit my 9-to-5 job, I've become increasingly anxious at work. Like, it's really hard for me to work. It's like my heart is racing, even checking emails. Just doing small tasks seem really challenging. I need to tell my boss soon. This is not healthy for my mental state. Just like looking at the computer and feeling anxiety, just the heart racing is not good for me. I didn't think I'd tell my boss this early. I'm gonna tell him that I'm gonna move on in our one-on-one this week, and hopefully I will feel a sense of relief when I do that. Now I'm watching video 5. I was really stressed out. I've made the decision to quit my 9-to-5. One part of me thinks it's irresponsible because I'm gonna quit, take some time off, and then invest in my own business. And part of me feels like a quitter. I talked with a mentor this week, and that's actually not in my DNA to quit. This isn't me just like being weak and being like, oh, I have anxiety, it doesn't matter, just push through. I pushed through a lot in my career and life, and it's just my body speaking to me, just all the anxiety and stress I'm feeling. I think it's God's way of telling me, like, this season of your life has come to an end. I want you to rest, and I want you to trust me for what's next. Come with me on this adventure and build your coaching business and see what happens. I'm not advocating that you quit your job. Everyone has their own journey, and if this story can somehow help you, that's awesome. Be blessed, everyone. I believe we all have a calling and a reason why we're here on earth, and it takes courage to pursue that. There may come a point when you have to take that leap, and your body will let you know when it's time. It's important to pay attention to your body and always prioritize your mental health. Phase 3, preparing to quit. I've made the decision to quit my 9-to-5 job, and today I spoke with a financial planner. For me, it's important to have a plan even as I'm stepping into uncertainty. Personally, I have more than a year of run rate, I have an amount saved up that I can spend on building my business as well. What was actually really encouraging was speaking to this financial planner who's a friend of mine. She previously quit her job, traveled the world, and then is now doing financial planning, which is her purpose. She said, I have 2 big benefits. 1 is knowing that I want to quit, and 2 is what I'm running toward. The next step is I am going to write what I'm gonna say to my boss when I resign. I want this to be thoughtful and thorough. I wanna end this season on a good note. So one thing to note is people helped me along the way in my process of quitting. I talked to a financial planner. Before that, I talked to a mentor. I wasn't making this decision just by myself. It is important to note to be careful who you let in, who you let speak into your life. But for me, I did seek counsel from those that I trust. Phase 4, I quit. All right, watching video number 7. I'm gonna quit my 9-to-5 job today. I'm scared, I'm nervous, and I'm anxious, and I know this is the right thing to do. I've been having a ton of anxiety about this, and my heart has been racing because I know my season there has ended. I'm gonna do this. Just scheduled a meeting with my boss for 1 p.m. I think it's gonna be emotional. Yeah, I might cry. But we'll see. 15 minutes till I resign. Gonna give 2 weeks notice. I really left people hanging there. All right, next video, I actually quit. This is video 8. I'm gonna quit my 9-to-5 job today. Just scheduled a meeting with my boss. 1 o'clock, I'm gonna do it.
Hey Joanna.
How are you? Quickly touch base of working for a Michelin company. Really appreciate your support and how I've had the opportunity to grow the company, grow as a marketer, grow as a leader. I believe this chapter of my life is coming to a close. And I just sense God leading me into a season of rest and then building my own coaching business. As such, I want to formally resign as director of marketing.
I can't say like I appreciate all the journey that we've been on together through this. The work work that you put in, the consistency to show up.
Got off a 25-minute phone call. That video went viral on TikTok. I still can't believe I recorded myself and then posted it on TikTok. Like, watching these videos makes me relive everything I went through, and it was a big decision for me. Phase 5, transformation. This is how I feel afterwards. I was so stressed. As such, I want to formally resign as director of marketing. Got off a 25-minute phone call with my boss where I resigned. I did it. He wasn't totally surprised. He's like, I know you've been searching and you moved to Hawaii and like you coach on the side. It's the right step for me to leave though. I got the weight off my shoulder. My heart is lighter thinking about this. I did it. I was able to walk away. Yeah, so after I quit, it's funny, after this, I actually called my mentor and I said, did I make the wrong decision? And he was like, no, Joanna, it's time for you to move on. I've seen your journey and it's time to go. So I put my 2 weeks notice and then I recorded myself on the last day of work. I quit my 9-to-5 job and it's my last day at work. I'm leaving a 10+ year career in Silicon Valley tech. For me, it's really important to end seasons well. It talks about that in the Bible, about going out in peace. I have a goodbye Zoom call with my teammates as we're all scattered across the US and I'm actually in Hawaii. My teammates shared memories of me, and one teammate made a photo slideshow. I'm glad I'm able to leave on a good note. That's it. That's a wrap. And I'm done. Here's to life of entrepreneurship, but first, time for some rest. I'm going swimming now. All right, and then video 10, money tree after I swim. I quit my 9-to-5 job and today was my last day at work. And my friend got me a money tree plant as a going away gift. So excited. I also think it's really symbolic because something I deal with is poverty and scarcity mindset. Even though I'm very responsible and I save a lot, that's a mindset that's hindered me in the past. So the fact that she got me a money tree is very symbolic as I embark on this new journey of entrepreneurship and starting my own business. And I'm just very thankful for friends here in Hawaii who care about me and give me things like plants. I'm very blessed. Here's that money tree now, and as you can see, it's thriving. Am I also thriving? Hopefully I am, but no, it's very symbolic. All right, last video conclusion. I quit my 9-to-5 and I just showed you a video series of what it was like for me to quit. You saw all the emotions I went through. I'm still feeling a lot of different things. I know that this is the right step, and I'm also scared, and I'm also elated, and I'm also excited to see what God can do. I've always been someone who's had a plan. I'm just stepping into the realm of uncertainty and entrepreneurship, but I know I'm also ready. I've helped other people build their businesses. It's time for me to go. I'm a first-time entrepreneur who spent 10+ years in Silicon Valley tech, working at Google and as a startup tech marketer. I'm transitioning into life and career coaching, which is my passion. Similarly to how I've shown you the highs and lows of moving from San Francisco to Hawaii, I will show you the highs and lows of entrepreneurship. And we'll see what's to come in this journey. Take care, everyone. You know, sometimes I watch videos of myself of just like, who is this girl who has the courage to do that? Just even the confidence it takes to say, oh, I'm gonna do this, I trust God, let's go. Like, entrepreneurship, I've learned this last year, has a lot of highs and lows, but this girl who just puts herself out there, a little crazy, but you know what? I'm proud of her. To summarize, there were 6 steps I went through for me to quit my job. Step 1, the call to adventure. I had always known I wanted to do this. That call started a few years ago, and I just didn't quit and make the decision in a 2-week period. I knew I wanted to do something, and I was always working toward it, and it came to the point where it was now or never. Step 2, denial. I was scared to actually take the leap because, you know, I'm Chinese, my ancestors have sacrificed a lot. Was I throwing everything down the drain of, you know, working so hard, going to school, grad school, working in Silicon Valley? It just didn't seem like a responsible decision. Sometimes you have to put that aside and do what's right. And I think we all go through these thoughts, but it's important for you to know what you're looking for and for you to make the decision for yourself. Step 3, accepting the call. My body was speaking to me. I was going through anxiety. My mental health was deteriorating. money, I knew it was time to move on. Step 4, preparation. For me, finances were the biggest obstacles, so practically look at your finances and see what your situation's like. Also in preparing, I talked to people I confide in and who I trust. They served as a good sounding board, and I saw that this decision was the right one for me. Step 5, taking the leap, quit my job. And step 6, transformation. I am definitely a different person now, and I'm glad I did it. I would not be the person I am today. So often people look at finances on why you should do something, and I'll just say that no amount of money can replace the personal growth I've experienced this last year. Just like that money tree, man. It's been great. I feel like I'm a different person, and life is supposed to be lived. We shouldn't be scared, and I don't regret anything I did. One additional thing I want to mention. In my decision to leave, what was really important was that I know my why. My why to encourage people to stand tall in who they are and to own their story. That gave me the courage to quit my job. Even as an entrepreneur, it still keeps me focused each day. My why to stand tall gave me the courage to post about it on TikTok. And it was kind of crazy because it definitely went viral, especially the video of me quitting. It got 1.6 million views. And through that video, other things happened in my life. The Washington Post featured my story along with other 5 TikTokers on a piece of people who want to quit their job. I was featured on ABC News Nightline and also on the Today Show. I didn't really think about it so much at the time, but I did put a lot of myself on the line by quitting my job on social media. I know there were some people who rage quit and things like that. Like, I had worked really hard for a career, and for me to quit was a pretty ballsy move. But you know what? I have no regrets because I know those videos spoke to so many people. I had so many people reach out. CEOs at tech companies, startup founders, my peers who said, Joanna, I feel stuck in my life right now. How did you have the courage to do that? People said, I'm making so much money right now, but I'm miserable and I feel like I'm not living a life that I really want to live. And that's why I posted those videos, because we all have something in our life that we're passionate about and we're called to, and we might not be living into that. I'm not telling you that you need to quit your job right now. Everyone has a different situation. You might have family to take care of. Your finances are different. But what I am telling you to do is to take the next step. I didn't quit my job overnight. It was a series of consecutive steps for 5 years where I was, starting my coaching business on the side, where I was always creating content, where I was learning and growing, and I was always working toward that. Just ask yourself, what does it look like for you to live a life that's true to you? And what's the next step you can take? That's all I really want to encourage people to do. It may be quitting your job. It might be staying in your job. The next step for you might be to start writing 5 minutes every day because you always want to write a book. I'm Asian American, and I grew up in Silicon Valley, and I was always around high achievers, and I felt like a narrative was pushed on you that you have to live a certain way and have a certain lifestyle and a certain amount of money. And I really let that all go this last year. I moved to Hawaii. I left my job. Now I'm a content creator and content marketing coach. And I think a lot of people don't understand what I do, quite frankly, because I come from a tech world where it's, are you going to build the next unicorn startup? Are you a product manager, etc. A big reason why I was scared to leave my job was because of finances, right? And that's completely valid. I'm thankful that I'm a responsible person, so I've saved and invested, and I gave myself a cushion. But what I realized this last year is money cannot buy you joy. Money can't buy you courage to have the guts to do what you truly want to do. Money can't buy you passion, and it can't buy you purpose. It can't buy you knowing your why. Sometimes we get so fixated on money. Money is a tool though. Money is something that is a resource to help you live your life, but don't let money stand in the way of you taking the next step. Find a way to take the next step and see where that leads. That's all I want to leave you with. That's really a message from my heart. I didn't plan to say that. I hope this video encourages you. If you are feeling burnt out, or you are considering quitting your job, or you don't know what to do, take the next step and take care of your mental health. If you want to quit your job, I'm cheering you on. Be responsible in doing that. If you want to stay in your job, I wish you well, because this video is not about quitting your job. This video is about you having the courage to do what you've always wanted to do. It's about you taking the next step every single day. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, you'll also like this one on why I quit my job in Silicon Valley. I go a bit more into my background and really the thought process and structure of entrepreneurship versus stability. Go check out that video, and until next time, I hope you stand tall in who you are.